So this is the main part of the cemetery. There is the mausoleum. That is the oldest building on Hilton Head Island. And here are some of the graves that we visited last time. There's a family plot there. And here in the front of the cemetery are all these crosses. Now the reason I came back to see what was going on here is because when I was here, I met a couple and they explained to me that the husband's great-great-great-grandfather is buried here, and that under these crosses with ground penetrating sonar, they have found there are burials here that still remain unmarked. And I was told that the Historical Society was going to do some work here and try to figure out, possibly, I don't know how, but try to figure out who these family members were. And that gentleman that I spoke to told me that he believed that very possibly more of his family members could be interred here just unmarked. And you can see it goes almost out right to the road, and there are very many of them. I think they've tried to mark all that they've seen. I'm going to try to look up some information on this and see if there's any info out there about what they might be doing. It's been at least a year, if not two, since I've been here, and hasn't really changed, but I imagine that it's a big job. A lot of research would have to be done to try to figure out who these folks are. I'm going to look around a little bit more.
I found an article in the local Island Packet magazine from July 6, 2018 about the restoration of the cemetery. Local high school students assisted a group from Binghamton University in New York State in cleaning it up. That group used ground-penetrating radar to survey and found many unmarked graves. Plans at that time were for that group to turn the cemetery into a Revolutionary War history park, and the local Heritage Library plans to reconstruct the original chapel on its old footprint. By the time that article was written, 28 unmarked graves had been found.
You might remember this grouping here. A little bit difficult to read, and this one being the most interesting.
The site once had a militia muster house where soldiers would gather. Restoration of the mausoleum is still in process, and the goal is to fully restore the site by 2026, the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution.
So we are late in the day now, and the sun is setting, but I've just realized something about this set of graves here. We've got Mrs. Mary Devant, and that is a name of a lot of the folks that are buried here. And right next to her, though, is the grave of her infant. And if you look at the dates and how they correspond, you'll understand when Mary passed.
I'll visit again next time I'm here, and I'll follow up on the restoration. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.